I'm Vanessa Joy, and this is How to Shoot an Engagement Session. So last year I was shooting an engagement session and it was in the middle of the winter, so it was a bit cold and I was having trouble just finding the client. I don't know if you've ever had that problem where you're just like, where are they? They're somewhere, but they are not on the same planet as me, and you're not connecting with them, you're not getting the real them, you're not pulling out any real emotion. Well, that was me. We get through the entire session, and the last 5 minutes, I don't know if it was the pose I put them in or something, but it was just like, oh, there they are. So naturally, I shot as many pictures as humanly possible in that last 5 minutes. After they had said goodbye, I turned to my assistant and I said, that was awkward, right? And she looked at me and said, it wasn't your best, which she was being nice, but I realized that that was my fault. It was my fault that I didn't know them better or that I couldn't pull out emotion from them. What I want to show you today is an engagement session from start to finish that will give you some tips about how to get your couples natural in front of the camera when they really actually hate it. Most grooms hate it. It just is how it is. But throughout whatever we do, if it feels weird, just move.
Oh, it feels weird already.
Right, perfect, so keep moving. The first thing I like to do is I like starting off with having them walk away from me and do something that's just normal, like walking and holding hands, that's normal. And then look at each other every once in a while, there you go. Cute. I also put on a longer lens, like my Canon 135 in this case, and I just let them walk away from me. It creates separation between me and them, so I'm not like right on top of them, photographing them close up right away, super intimidating, and they're just walking away, and then I have them turn around and walk back. And look at each other, don't look at me, yeah, cute. That little exercise just to warm them up, get them moving, get used to the fact that I'm photographing, and open up the lines of communication is super, super helpful. The other benefit of this is that you get to get your exposure while you're letting them walk away. Honestly, most of the time I don't even show them those pictures because they're not particularly that attractive. It's just their backsides, but it lets me get the exposure. So I find that helpful. Just let them walk away, turn around, walk back, ease them into it. Now, before the session, and if you like what you see here, this is probably going to be something you want to do. Before the session, I ask them very specific questions. So what I've got for you down there in the link are the 4, I may have written 5 or more, I don't even remember how many, but I have the exact questions that I ask all of my couples that set me up for success in the session before we even start shooting. So download that in the comments. Your goal is to make them as comfortable as possible. A really great way to ruin that is to pose them very stiffly. So sometimes if I notice they're stiff, I'll actually get those stiff photos out of the way very quickly and do that typical like hand on the chest with the ring showing and the two of us looking lovingly and then looking at the camera, like the have to have pictures. I get those done first so that then we can like move on from there. And then like cheesy smile or engaged smile. Nice. Love that right there. Good. But you might do the opposite. You might actually get them more comfortable, then do the stiff ones and they won't look so stiff. But either way, come up with things that you want to say to them that will get some kind of reaction. I don't care what it is. You could say something absolutely ridiculous. Just with your eyebrows, tell the other person what you're thinking. GQ in the pocket real quick. Nice. And then you both turn towards me. Pinch each other's butts so you get real good smiles. Nice, look at each other again. Say your name in your best French accent ever. French. Figure out whatever it is that you're gonna say to get some kind of reaction. Usually a laugh, but maybe it's just, you know, making them melt there. You want a romantic picture, but then you want a funny picture. Sometimes you want both of them, or maybe your client only wants one. Go back and get that questionnaire for more of what I'm talking about there. Ultimately, give them scenarios that allow them to have movement. Cute, and keep walking the fence line that way. You're a photographer. You are capturing frozen moments, right? But that doesn't mean that your subjects have to be frozen also. Make them move. Just make sure your shutter speed is high enough to capture that movement without the motion blur. So, you know, have him spin her around or her spin him around, or have them walk, or have them, you know, pick up, or act flirty or walk drunk. I don't care what it is. Just have them have a little bit of movement, because the last thing you want to do to someone who's already feeling stiff is put them in a stiff pose. This is also very helpful if you are working with a videographer. The last thing they want is video of two people who aren't moving. So helpful for the engagement session if you're having video there. Also helpful for the wedding if you have video. And again, it's just going to make them feel more natural, adding movement and getting photos from there. Ultimately, when they look at the photos later, you want them to look at them and remember how they felt, not how they were posed. I can go for a real kiss. Oh. That's your ultimate goal. And by the way, it's a tagline of mine. You steal it, I will come after you. I will hunt you down. Not really. You can steal it. All of these techniques when you're shooting an engagement session will gather real, raw emotion from them, which is only going to help them be happier with the photos, be more emotionally connected to them, and then hopefully hang more on their walls, give some more away, and put more in their album, which all will put more money in your pocket. Hey, we're professionals, aren't we? Gotta feed our kids somehow. I think that's it. Make sure that you hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm Vanessa Joy. Bye.